name is Nanyonjo Hadijah. I am an enthusiastic social worker and psychologist with a burning career to work with refugees. My current work lies in research, mental health, and sexual reproductive health rights advocacy. Both mental health and SRHR are similar in one way or the other, and integrating them means a lot, especially if we are to work in the humanitarian setting. I would like to talk about sexual reproductive health rights in the humanitarian setting. There are continuous conflicts happening around the world, as we are all aware, and bringing it into the refugee perspective, the UNHCR defines a refugee as someone who is forced to flee from his or her own country because of persecution, conflict, or war. I believe no one decides or chooses to become a refugee, because anyway it's never easy for them. Looking at the world we are in currently, there are a lot of new conflicts coming up. Climate change, which is making a lot of people flee from their countries to other countries, and that comes with new, like in a new country, we get to see different languages, their different cultures, beliefs, and that is not easy for these people. That is really not easy for them, and they lose all their hope, and all they look to is having them being alive the next day, because in that process of migration, most of their families are lost, friendships are lost, careers, education, and a lot of other things. A case of Uganda, the European Commission stated recently that Uganda hosts the largest number of refugees in Africa and is the 6th in the world. And at this point, we host over 1.6 million refugees, yet most of those are young women and children below the ages of 18 years. Let's really take us a picture on how their life is. So humanitarian crisis heighten these girls and young women. They become more vulnerable to sexual violence, HIV infections, exploitation, trafficking. We see some of them giving birth in the absence of a nurse or midwife, leading to maternal deaths and disability, rape. Like, there are a lot of things out there that happen, and I call upon all of us, because we have something we can do to ensure that something is different in the lives of these young girls and women, especially if we focus on their sexual reproductive health. And I believe we can do that through ensuring that young people access age-appropriate SRHR information to help them make informed health decisions about their lives, and that will lead them to achieve their full potential. But also, I believe we can put up or establish strategies that help young girls and women at the onset of the conflict. We can put up preventative measures and care for gender violence survivors. I call upon the different stakeholders in all their capacities to ensure that there is increased funding for the humanitarian responses, especially sexual reproductive health rights. We need to ensure that SRHR programs, information, services, and supplies are prioritized whenever there is an emergency. And I'm talking of family planning, abortion, prevention, and care for gender-based violence survivors. We need to work with governments to ensure there are supportive policies, and with supportive policies, they have to be in advance of a conflict or an emergency, such that if anything happens, we feel there's something safe for us to ride on. We also need to ensure that these young women and girls and the local organizations are part of the general programming, the humanitarian interventions, the program planning of whatever we expect to implement in these settings. We need to strengthen the reproductive health supply chain to ensure that life-saving SRHR services and information are available before, during, and after any emergency. In the next conversations, I'll talk about food insecurity, the ways of life of people living in refugees. We shall get to have stories from them, their challenges and opportunities. I'm eager to leverage my skills and expertise to ensure that we have a better world for all. Feel free to reach me or connect with me on LinkedIn, Hadijah Nanyonjo, and email hadijahn34@gmail.com. Thank you so much.